Okay, I want to blog, and this is just, I'll be honest. I don't really call myself a chauvinist. Most women that I've had as girlfriends will generally say to me, I mean, I might be chauvinist or whatever that means, or any. I never really took much thought to feminism and stuff like that. Um, by the way, I went outside yesterday and I went around a park. I have a new park down. I'm gonna, I should work out. I had a new hangout, y'all, so I'm gonna be hanging out. Now, I'll take some photos. I might even do it today. It's gonna be a very beautiful day. I want to talk about. I was just doing some research and a little research about the Bible and Jesus and um, uh, first thing I want to say is that homosexuals say that Jesus uh, never mentioned homosexuality. Um, I won't go heavy into that, but he did mention Sodom and Gomorrah, and he said he was talking to the Chaldeans or something, and he said that your judgment will be worse, because they already knew Jesus. Jesus had come to them, and yet they denied him. And he said, and I think it was in Matthew something. I posted it on one of the links. I'm sorry about that. I know it's bad. I'll try to be better. But he said that your judgment will be worse than those of Sodom. So Sodom was already judged. And Jesus had used that, this out of control homosexuality. And this is why I also read it. So Jesus used Sodom as these out of control homosexuality and their judgment, which was, we all know what happened, in Sodom. It just ain't even there no more. Okay, and then, I had this Jewish guy on my page, and he's concerned, and I am concerned about judgment on our nation. It's like, I mean, the thing that Abraham said to God that had him save his brother was, Lord, please don't destroy the righteous with the workers of inequity. And I want to say it like that because and God actually went down to check it out to see if it was bad. As so he was still giving people opportunity. This was not a complete judgment. Abraham said, Lord, if there's 50 men, will you save the city? And he said, yeah, I'll save the city. And then he said, well, what about 10? Eventually he worked it down to 10. But there were not 10 righteous people. And so the whole thing was, this was not a final judgment. This was still up in the air. I mean, we had the opportunity, to turn this around and to at least put this under control. And when I say under control, and I'm getting to the point about feminism. When God made the earth, he made the garden, and I was out today and I just saw the most beautiful, beautiful gardens. And he was out and he told Adam to actually subdue the earth. He says, and keep it. It's right there in Genesis, right? He says he put man in the garden and subdue it. Some people gonna really appreciate me not just rattling off the numbers like Genesis 20 or wherever. I don't know if that's it, 2 and 20, I don't know. But I'm sure that there's some people that are like me that aren't, that will appreciate that. But anyway, he said subdue and keep it. So it was man's job to keep things as they were supposed to be, And so I was talking to this guy it was phenomenal. I ran into this guy because I was trying to get all this this bad spirit. People kind of come to you and they dump things on you, and so it'll fester in your heart and soul. So I was just, when your mind sees light, you know, your mind, the light gets in your mind and it lights the whole body. So it's good to get, some light in your eyes, and the eyes being the window of the soul. If the light, if there's darkness in your eyes, and that's then there's darkness in the whole body per se, on a spiritual sense. I didn't explain that right, but I'll explain it some other time. But what I'm saying is that it's work when you can, work in the day, work in the light. There's some great things about the light that rejuvenates the heart and soul. Now, fortunately, there's warmth, so that if you are blind, at least you can feel the warmth, and a lot of blind people still see light, anyway, they just don't have any focus or vision per se. Anyway, I didn't mean to get into that, but I was talking to this guy about some really beautiful things in the garden, in these beautiful gardens, and it was really nice, and I want to say something. I do not hate homosexual. I was walking around with a shirt like this. Two homosexual guys, a white guy and a black guy. The black guy has glasses on, and he looks at me. I'm coming out, and I don't have a shirt on. And so I guess he might have thought something or meant something other than, I needed some sun, and he's like stares at me, and I look away, and then he's keep looking, and he's like young, he's like, and that's the really funny thing about that is that people will tell me, oh, well, you too young for young women. But you'll have all these young men will come on to a guy my age, and I hate to, people think I'm being some kind of vanity. I do not consider it a compliment to have some guy just staring at you, trying to, and I understand I ain't control the young girls nowadays. You look at them and they'll have a fit about you looking at them because they look good or you see something, But whatever you do is your business, but it's a peculiar situation. I don't have any hatred or anything to that, but the brazenness of it. I have a thing myself where I won't just stare a woman in the face. A lot of guys will just stare a woman down, keep staring up. And commuter, it's kind of fun because women were looking at me today, and they was like, I was like, approval. I was like, with it, approval, baby. Anyway, I'm getting way off track. But, chauvinism, or whatever, I really do believe that a man is not to serve, is not, as far as dominion, and I believe that a man should be president and things like that, and not a woman and stuff like that. And I think there's another thing to be important. God said, woman was made for the man and to be a helpmeet for him. Okay, so that is important. I'm not trying to run a house and be, even though I do a lot, I would, if I had a woman, I would cherish her and do a lot of things and bless her as much as possible, as much as I can humanly. And I'm a Christian. You women need to get with some Christian men because they believe in tithes. I don't just hand out. I'm joking, right? I don't just hand out here, have a few. I believe in giving a woman a percentage. I do it. That's how I treat my girlfriends. Anyway, I'm just joking. Anyway, no, but I treat a friend. I'll treat a friend like that. But anyway, I want to say that it is also important. They put the tree of knowledge there, and the problem was is that you got to be careful. Knowledge of evil, you know, knowledge of good and evil, but it's knowledge of evil. So when you put a woman, and the situation with Adam is that the woman was doing something that I don't know if he knew or not, but you need to be mindful of what kind of knowledge the woman has or that she's dealing with. You need to know what she's doing. Because if she could possibly have more knowledge than you, so you got to be careful. When you put her in charge of something, that she's not talking to a snake, and making deals with a snake. So God bless you all. I know that sounds hard and stuff, but this is I didn't make this up, and you need to be mindful of some of the wisdom that is involved in this. So if you got women in power and you don't know what they're doing, you need I'm just saying, if you the boss, if you running the show, if you got authority and you got women there, if you don't know as much as she knows about a situation, then you're at a disadvantage, as far as authority and authority is concerned and dominion is concerned. God bless you all. Love you all. Now you can find some weak backbone, flaky, I was gonna say something else kind of man, but I'm not him.